Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be showcasing Gardevoir and Tag Team GX. Now this is a deck list that I got from the Japanese tournament where there were 1,700 players. This is the 6th place list, so going to be super relevant whenever Unbroken Bonds releases here in May. So I thought I'd give you guys a rundown on what this deck is. Let's go over the basics here of this Gardevoir and Tag Team. It has 260 HP, 2 retreat crossed, and a weakness to metal. First attack for one colorless is Fairy Song. Search your deck for up to 2 Fairy Energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. So not too bad for a setup attack. Honestly, if someone's hitting good numbers, they're just going to knock you out, and then you're going to waste your time placing 2 energies. But I mean, it's better than nothing. Second attack, 2 fairies, 1 colorless. Caldeo Storm, 150 damage. Move any number of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. So basically, you can attack. You're afraid it's going to get knocked out, so you can just move those energies to another Gardevoir and Sylveon. GX attack. 3 Fairy Energy, Magical Miracle GX, 200 damage. If this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energy on it, attached to it, 3 extra Fairy Energy attached to it, in addition to this attack cost, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck. So basically, you knock out one of their Pokemon, and then you knock their hand size down to 0. So, I mean, super good. Take some really cheeky KOs and knock your opponent down to 0 cards, and then they're left with nothing. So you know, that's it's not very nice, but good deck and good attacks. Next up is support Pokemon. We have 2 Cutiefly. Now we run a 2-2 line of Cutiefly and Ribombee, and this Ribombee is the one that says its ability says, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, whenever your opponent places a supported card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your fairy Pokemon. So basically, it prevents your opponent from using a Guzma, getting your Sylveon and Gardevoir off of the bench and drag it into the active. It prevents Guzma. That's pretty much all it does. Next up, we have a Xerneas Prism Star. And what this does, it is basically a Tapu Koko. Whenever you move it from the bench into the active, you may move as many Fairy Energy cards as you want to it. So basically, you've got a Sylveon up there. It's got 3 energies on it, or a Sylveon Gardevoir. You use a switch, it moves to the active, and so you're able to just transfer those 3 energies to it. Easy way of getting around having to attach. Next up, we have Tapu Lele. This is the one with a magical swap. That's so once you've got the damage out there, you know, you can move it around and get KOs as you need. Next up, we have the supporter cards, and we are running 4 Acerola. We're just denying prizes as much as possible. 260 HP on that Gardevoir Sylveon is super high, and so if they're not hitting one-hit knockouts, you can Acerola, get all that energy back, and deny them prizes. Next up, we have 3 Cynthia for a little bit of shuffle draw. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 cards. Next up is a new card coming out in Unbroken Bonds. It's Green Search. You can only play this card if you have no Pokemon with abilities in play. Search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So if you have Ribombee or Xerneas Prism Star in play, on the bench, in the active, you cannot use Green Search. However, you just play it before you get those laid down. Next up, we have 2 Lily, because this is still the best turn 1 supporter, being able to draw up to 8 cards on turn 1. Next, we have 2 Guzma, because sometimes it is necessary to get your opponent's Pokemon off the bench and into the active so you can knock it out. Next, we have 1 Erica's Hospitality. This is just a really good card. If you have 4 or fewer cards in hand, then you may draw as many cards as your opponent has in play. So if they have 6 in play, 1 in the active, 5 on the bench, you're able to draw 6 cards if you have 4 or fewer less in your hand. Next up, we have 1 Mina. If y'all don't know what this does, it says search your deck for a Fairy Energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So basically, it's free energy attachment. You just play that and, you know, search your deck for an Fairy Energy card and attach it. That's all there is to it. Next up, we have 4 Nest Ball, and this is the only way we are getting our Pokemon out of the deck. You're just using this, getting your Gardevoir, Sylveon, your Cutie Fly, your Tapu Lele, your Xerneas, and the Ribombee. You're just drawing into those naturally. There's no Ultra Ball, there's no Timer Ball or anything like that in the deck. Next up, we have 3 Switch, allowing us to switch into that Xerneas Prism Star using its ability, or switch into, you know, another Gardevoir, Sylveon, whatever it is. Next up, we have 2 Super Scoop Up. More of that prize denial. You're going down, you don't have an Acerola in hand, or you need to play a supporter for turn that's not Acerola. So Super Scoop Up comes in real handy right there if you can hit heads. Next up, we have 2 Pokegear, another card we're getting in Unbroken Bonds. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose a supporter card you find there, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck. So you need to find that Cynthia, the Green Search, the Acerola. You play one of those, look at the top 7 cards, and you're up and going. And I lied to you about not playing any Ultra Ball. We do play 1. I forgot that was in there. 1 whole Ultra Ball. That would be to search out your Ribombees, obviously, because that's really the only reason you need it. Next up is a card we are not getting in the United States. There are other ways. We have Viridian Forest, so that this could possibly be substituted for Viridian Forest and work just fine, I'm not sure. But this is Energy Spinner. Search your deck for 1 basic energy card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. If you went second and it's your first turn, you may search your deck for 3 basic energy cards. So basically, it's just Energy Search that is better than Viridian Forest if you're on your first turn going second. So far, we have not gotten this card in the United States. It hasn't been released that it's going to be either, so don't know if that's actually going to show up. Next, we have 1 Adventure Bag. This allows you to search for 2 tools. Next, we have a couple tools, and this is Fairy Charm Lightning with Pikarom running around. These Fairy Charms prevents all damage done to your Fairy Pokemon by attacks of your Pokemon's Lightning, or your opponent's Lightning Pokemon that are EX or GX. So it wouldn't work against Zapdos, but against Pikarom and Zeraora it would work great. And next up, we have 2 Fairy Charm, and this says prevent all damage done to the fairy Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX, which has an ability. So basically, any Pokemon that has an ability, Zoroark, Lycanroc, whatever other Pokemon has an ability, they can attack, or they can attack, but they do no damage when that's attached. Next up, we have a few 1-ups. We have 1 Choice Band. Sometimes that damage modifier is necessary. We have 1 Choice Helmet, because reducing damage by 30 is always a good thing. 1 Wishful Baton, because hey, being able to move those 3 energies when you get knocked out is really important. Next up, we have a Wondrous Labyrinth. This causes your all Pokemon in play besides Fairy to cost 1 colorless more, so everybody else now has to pay 1 more colorless except for you, because you are a Fairy Pokemon. Next up, we have 1 Unmanned Power Plant, and this says each player's Pokemon EX or GX in play have no abilities. And so basically that shuts off Zoroark and Lycanroc. That's pretty much what that's made for. And then next up, we have our energy count, and we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 energy cards. Just running basic Fairy. There's no reason to run anything else. Everything takes Fairy, nothing takes double colorless. But anyway, guys, that's the deck list. This came in 6th place in that 1,700 person tournament, and I thought it was worth sharing with Unbroken Bonds coming out real soon. I'm sure it'll be a deck that people want to test out. But anyway, guys, there it is. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and let me know what you think. But that'll do it for tonight. We'll see you later.